of praise today. Hey, I don't know what you come to do. Let me hear y'all. I don't know what you come to do. I hear, hey, I don't know what you come to do. Hey, I don't know what you come to do. Hey, I come to clap. I come to clap my hands. I come to clap my hands. Hey, I come to clap my hands. Come on. I come to leap for joy. Hey, 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 oh, I don't know what you come to do. Hey, I don't know what you come to do. Hey, I don't know what you come to do. Yeah, Lord, I don't know what you come to do. Hey, I come to leap for. I come to leap for. I come to leap for joy. I come to leap for joy. I come to give God praise. I come to give God praise. I come to give God praise. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. That the Lord has made. I will rejoice. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Oh, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. Bless God. We want to say we are grateful. I am astonished that God still considers me one of his favorites. I love that he loves me so much that he can call me friend, that he can call me his chosen one. I am a friend of God's, and I hope that you believe that you are too. Hey. Who am I that you are mindful of me, that you hear me when I call? Is it true that you are thinking of me, that you love me? It's amazing. Oh, I am a friend of God. I am a friend of God. I am a friend of God. He calls me friend. Oh, I am a friend of God. I am a friend of God. I am a friend of God. He calls me friend. Ladies and gentlemen, the program has now begun. May I get everybody to stand to their feet as we open the program. The push is on. Hey, the push is on. The push is on. Come on, band. Hey, the push is on. There's work for us to do. Hey, the push is on. The job is up to you now. Who we can make it a better place to live in right now. Can we count on you? The push is on. There's work for us to do. Oh, the push is on. The job is up to you now. We can make it a better place to live in right now. Can we count on you? We can make it a better place. We can make it a better place if we only try, only try.
Saturday morning here at Dr. King's Workshop, and we've come to get in some good trouble today, to do some good work. As we've seen on Wednesday, a match was struck to 60 years of progress for black and brown people as it connects to our voting rights. And we've got to push back, we've got to resist, we've got to vote, we've got to run, we've got to march, we've got to do what's necessary to gain back what they rolled back. And so we're here today at the workshop to get informed, to get inspired, to be empowered. For those of you in the digital space, you still got time to pull up the push. Those here in this space, can we put our hands together for your presence? We're excited that you're here. We've got the judges here. Listen, even if you got warrants, you can still pull up today. It's a great time. It's a great space to be, for us to be encouraged, inspired, and empowered to do the work that our founder laid the foundation for us to march forward doing. We got to fight. We got to run, because the push is on. The push is on. I promise you, the push is still on.
Work for us to do, yeah, the push is on, the job is up to you now, we can make it a better place to live in right now, can we count on you, we can make it a better place, we can make it a better place, if we only try, we can make it a better place, we can make it a better place. Please remain standing for Lift Every Voice and Sing. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let all rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Oh yeah, sing a song full of the faith that the darkness has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the presence has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
You might take your seats today. As things are continuing to unfold in this world and in our community, we want to be in prayer for the entirety of the late Commissioner Dennis Deere's family, as on today they'll lay to rest his wife and son, Barbara and Caleb. And so the same concern and care that you would want to receive if your name were on this list, let's make sure we extend that to the entirety of the Deere family. We're praying also for the family of Tyrone Stoudemire. We're praying for the migrants and for those who are impacted by job and food insecurity, homelessness, and other prevailing issues that pain people in this place called America. We're praying for the victims that find themselves on the other side of war. We pray that God will comfort them and keep them. And then we pray for peace around this world. I want to invite one of our guests, Pastor Carla Thompson, to come now and to pray for us and lead us to that throne of grace.
I invite you to join me in prayer. Holy and gracious God, thank you for waking us up this morning. Thank you for giving us a new day that we have never seen before. Thank you for giving us a new opportunity to be your people in this world, to speak up on behalf of those who are hurting, to learn from those who are leading in this space and in other spaces that are focused on justice and mercy and peace and love. I pray, oh God, that you would inspire hope in each of us, that you would help us to keep a vision alive and to keep hope alive. I pray, oh God, that you would guide each and every heart here to be devoted in every place that they find themselves. And I pray that you would just guide us to speak up, speak out, and be present in every place that we can make a difference in this world. In Jesus' name, we pray all of these things. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Carla. Listen, y'all sat down and you didn't even greet your neighbor. Take a second and say hey to the person. At least 3 people. Greet them. Say hey. Show them all 32 or 2, whatever you got in your mouth this morning. And for those of you that are in the digital space, WVON, WJYS, Word Network, our stream, YouTube, Facebook, welcome. We celebrate you. Hey, Push, can we celebrate everybody in the digital space that's tuned in today? We so appreciate all of you that are in those digital spaces. If you're on Facebook, smash the share button, hit the @ symbol, type somebody's name in. We need you to be a digital disciple today and recruit some people here into this place called Push. And listen, today's a great day to become a member of Push. It's just $35. Real easy, real simple. For those of you who are in this place, we locking the doors. You can't get out today until you become a member of Rainbow Push. You got to show some credentials to make your exit. And so if you want to go ahead and get your membership now, raise your hand so you can leave at the benediction. For those of you in the digital space, head over to the website, rainbowpush.org, fill out the form, and our team members are going to get with you and walk you through the balance of the process and welcome you to this family called Push. We're excited about several members of our Push family who have done and achieved some amazing things just this week. Pastor Eric Thomas was elected to the office of bishop, and so Pastor Thomas, we celebrate you. We honor you. We're glad about what God is doing in your life. Bishop Edie, we celebrate Dr. Michael Edie for his elevation. We celebrate Bishop Byron Brazier, his elevation to bishop. And so we celebrate what God is doing in the lives of those connected to Push who are doing the work outside of the 4 walls of the church, preaching justice and Jesus together. We honor you. Now listen, all of you have an assignment. You've got phones. I saw you with your phones when you walked in. I need you to pull out your phone right now. Grab your phone. Go to rainbowpush.org and register for the conference right now. That way you can't lie. I didn't have time. I didn't know what to do, where to go. You got your phone in your hand. We got judges here. You can't lie in front of the judge. You got your phone. Go ahead, register for the conference right now. Time is upon us. July 10th is coming up real fast, and we want to be here in this place called Chicago, in this place called Push, to do the amazing work of pushing forward the mission of this organization. And you need to be here to be informed and to be inspired. An amazing slate of speakers, folk that y'all want to hear. You watch them on TV all the time. They'll be right here in this building. You'll have easy access. And so make sure you register and invite somebody to register. All of our pastors that are tuned in, we need your church to plug in. We need you to make this announcement on Sunday morning. Get your folk registered. Bring them here to Push for our conference, June 10th through June 13th. Those are our conference date. Go ahead, take time off of work. June 10th through the 13th, we need you to plug in. And then before you leave here today, please stop by the Freedom Store, or if you want to go online and purchase your Push merch, you can do that upstairs or online. Make sure you got your Push merch as you prepare for the conference June 10th. We've got some amazing guests that are with us today, Opal Staples and Isaiah Sharkey. If you all have never heard them before, I promise you, your heart's about to be lifted today. Yusuf Jackson, our president and CEO, he's in the house. But then we got the Jackson duo today because Congressman Jackson is here today to give us our report from a congressional level. Antonio Lee, our Cook County Bar Association president, is here to share with us. And the Honorable Tiana Blakely, she's here to share with us. Listen, it's going to be a great day. Tell your neighbor, it's going to be a great day. We're moving forward with Opal and Isaiah.
Grand Rising family. I'm going to take you back a little bit with a goodie. Is that all right? Listen to the words. Them that's got shall get. Them that's not will lose. For the Bible says, and it still is news. Mama may have, Papa may have. God bless the child that's got his own on. That's got his own. Oh, yes. The strong get more while the weak ones fade. Empty pockets don't ever make the grade load. Your mama may have, your papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Now listen to the bridge. It's my favorite part. Ooh, money, you got lots of friends crowding round your door, but when you're gone and on, spending ends, they don't come around no more. Ooh, rich relations will give a crust of bread and such. You can have your share, but please don't you take too much. Oh, your mama may have, your papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. Wave your hand with me, say, that's got his own. Oh, that's got his own. Last time right here, that's got his own. Oh, oh.
I need the mic. Thank you so much. Good morning, Rainbow Push. Good morning, Rainbow Push. I'm happy to be back home. Thank you for allowing me traveling grace. I've been on the road for the last several weekends. I want to tell you some things that I've learned as I bring some reflections. Turn this down just a little bit, please. I was in Minneapolis for Somali Day. Just a few weeks ago, the government ended temporary protected status for Syrians and for Haitians. And I want to make sure that everyone understands what that means, temporary protected status. Temporary protected status is a status that our government grants to immigrants who come from war-torn regions or regions with exigent circumstances. So imagine you're a family, you came to the United States in, say, 1990. You start a family. Your temporary protected status allows you a visa for 18 months. And every 18 months, you're subject to renewal. That means you might have been here since 1990. It's now 2026. Living under the fear of being deported or losing your status every 18 months. So every 18 months, you pay another lawyer to do another filing. You pray in church. You try to gather signatures on a ballot. You try to elect a president of the United States every 4 years that feels the sympathy of you trying to escape a war-torn nation. And now in 2026, you learn after establishing your life, your business, your car business, your transportation business, your teaching business, whatever you're doing, that you can be deported after being here 30, 40, and 50 years. That's not fair. They need allies. It's incumbent upon us as African American people who understand. A lot of us in here are Jamaican. A lot of us in here are Haitian. A lot of us in here are from the Caribbean. You're only one generation removed from your father or your grandfather needing that temporary status. If we can't have the empathy for those fighting for permanent status and temporary status, it would be lower and beneath us to ever not stand in solidarity with the Somali people. So in 1960, Somalia gained independence from Italy. And they've come here and they've done great work in Minneapolis. Some of the largest businesses in Minnesota are Somali businesses. Last week, the government, as they sent ICE out, raided 22 Somali businesses looking for fraud. They're not looking for the fraudsters. They're trying to affect and disenfranchise an entire several 100,000 people. These are African people. The blood that binds us as Africans and African Americans is much thicker than the water that divides us or the neighborhood that divides us. We must stand with our Somali brothers and sisters. And so I'm going to ask you to join me soon coming to Minneapolis to stand side by side with Minnesota and with our Somali people. Let's give the Somalis who are fighting for their rights a rousing round of applause. We gathered this morning at a rather painful crossroads. At the end of the war for independence, we had a glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, we would win our freedom if we supported the U.S. government versus the British. Instead, they wrote into the Constitution that we're 3/5 of a person, 60% of humanity only. At the end of the Civil War, after years of advocacy and abolition movements that culminated in the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to end slavery, to bring due process and equal protection under the law, to give African American men the right to vote, that we'd have a level of reconstruction. And that reconstruction lasted 12 years until a political deal was cut between the Democrats and the Republicans, between the parties, that in order to keep a Republican president, they would sell out the dreams of Reconstruction. And that's why, as we think about where we are right now, we can't just trust the parties to support us. We ended with existential disappointment. But each time we had these problems in our lives, we leaned in our faith and trusted God's commitment to humanity, and we have affirmatively chosen community. In 1967, standing at the precipice of a fractured nation, Dr. King asked a definitive question of our modern age. Where do we go from here? Chaos or community? Dr. King was asking about the soul of our democracy, for America and for the moral center of our democracy for African American people who are feeling betrayed yet again by the unkept promise of the commitments that America had made to us. And so, a few days ago, the Supreme Court and the silent offices of the Department of Justice, they chose chaos. We choose community. There are two schools of thought. There's the blood and soil argument. This is a country of, for, and by white people. Immigrants and blacks don't have the intellectual capacity to participate in our society, and they dilute their white blood. And then there's the Jefferson-Lincoln angle, which is all men are created equal, endowed with rights by the Creator that humans can't take. And so just this week, the Supreme Court handed down its decision in Louisiana versus Calais, They struck down a map designed to promote fairness and equity. But what they really struck down, as they put Brother Cleo Fields' seat in jeopardy, was the heart of the Voting Rights Act. In my life at 55 years, I've seen us debate whether or not we need a Voting Rights Act. What was some of the work we did in the Civil Rights Movement for? Some of y'all will admit you've been a part of some of those discussions. In Tennessee, African Americans are just about 20% of the population. They have only one congressional district. There are no black members of Congress from the state of Tennessee. In Louisiana, African Americans are 33% of the population of Louisiana. There is one congressman, and his seat is about to be divided up so that there's a chance we have zero African American representation in Louisiana. You look across Alabama, in Florida, in South Carolina, and the answer is clear what they will do without the Voting Rights Act. And don't you think they're not coming for the North? Just as in 1877, the Democrats and the Republicans cut a deal together to promote more Republicans or to promote more Democrats, they can absolutely cut a deal today to promote more Democrats or promote more Republicans and disenfranchising our African American voices. I would shudder to think of the country at 62 members of Congress who are of color, and that goes down to 32. So we go from 15% to 7% or 5% or less by requiring us to prove intent of the act rather than effect. They have effectively said that as long as a politician is smart enough not to leave a paper trail of their prejudice and racism, they can legally drown us out. This ruling goes against every tenet of a fair and representative society. A democracy is not defined by what's in a lawmaker's heart. It's defined by the power in the hands of the people. We have a covenant with this country. In exchange for our fidelity of, for, and by the people, you'll make a government. And to disenfranchise us is to subject us to taxation without representation. They're violating us. When you dilute our vote, you dilute the lifeblood of our community. The court takes our shield while the administration is taking our sword. So since 2011, we've watched a systematic unraveling of the infrastructure designed to promote equality. They've slashed the budget of the Civil Rights Division, turning the watchdog of our country into a lapdog. They've shuttered the offices to protect women under Title IX, the offices that ensure access for the handicapped, and the protections for our immigrant, for our LGBTQ community and siblings. And look at the acuity of their strategy. They fired 17 inspectors general in a single year. They aren't just changing the law and removing witnesses, they're gutting the foundation of our society. They're dismantling the machinery that was built to ensure that we have liberty and justice for all. We've seen presidents act with character. We saw Abraham Lincoln. We saw Lyndon Baines Johnson. We saw Bill Clinton apologize for slavery. And I encourage us, in spite of what we see, not to be cynical. I will always continue to pray that our president will align himself on the right side of history, that he will join Thurgood Marshall and Earl Warren and not Justice Taney. On one side, we have immigration and ICE causing confusion in our neighborhoods. We have this voting rights amendment gutting, affecting African American people. But among the real issues is the economics of the country. We see working class families crushed by rising health care. We see the lack of affordable housing turning our cities into playgrounds for the wealthy, pushing the workers to the margins. We see education being a debt trap rather than a doorway for a better life. These effects push down the white middle class, and the white middle class gets anxious about their gas prices. You know what it does to the African American and to the brown classes. And so where do we go from here? We don't despair. We have to go to work. We're entering the next phase, in my opinion, of our political maturity. And it's built on a number of pillars. Hope is our foundation. We have been in and seen this valley before, and our God has never forsaken us. We have our blessings, and we must use our blessings as Moses used his rod to climb out to the mountaintop. Organizing a multicultural base. We're locking arm in arm with the labor unions, advocates, and organizers. The rainbow strategy is big tent. You belong in this rainbow. Individually, as Reverend Jesse Jackson would say, our patch in the quilt is too small. But when we align our patch with like-minded people and find common ground, together we build a valuable quilt, and that quilt represents the new majority. Strategic mobilization. We're going to select states and precincts with a precision ground game this summer. We'll out-organize their gerrymandering block by block. Something we haven't done before. In 1963, we marched, and that resulted in the Civil Rights Act. In 1983, we had a commemoration of that march. In the 1990s, 1 million of us stood on that mall praying, peaceful and strong, at the Million Man March. But this spring, we have to do something we've never done before with faith and advocacy and legal. We have to have a legislative day on the Hill and lobby our congressmen, let them know how we feel about what they're doing, and then organize a mass legislative conference this spring in Washington, D.C. So everybody prepare to get to Washington, to go inside Congress and lobby our congressmen this fall and this spring. We've never gone inside of Congress. Thousands of us, faith community and advocates and teachers and students, giving our agenda that's united across our civil rights organizations and our civic organizations. Lastly, we must protect the polls. This November, we must be living the Voting Rights Act. We must guard every ballot box and offer some protection for voters standing in line. This is the work of the Rainbow Push Coalition. We're working on the plans to enact everything I just offered to you today. We're building coalition across all of our advocacy organizations. June 10 through 13, we have our conference, Fulfilling the American Commitment to Its People. It couldn't be more poignant and timely to have this conference here in our building. On June 10th, I'm going to be real quick, we're going to have our Youth Day. We're going to have resources here. You're going to be able to get haircuts upstairs. You're going to take your pictures, your photos. We'll have a chance to do resume building. We'll have an outdoor activity. We'll have giveaways from Nike and from other organizations. We'll have a lot of activities for young people to be here, gift cards, all of the things you expect, and we're going to give them civics education lessons to teach them about voting, voter registration, mobilization. We're going to engage our youth. This will not be a teen takeover. This is a teen engagement. And then on the 11th and 12th, we'll have our conference here. On the Thursday, we'll commemorate the work of the Reverend Jesse L. Jackson with a number of seminars. The people that we're confirming will be listed on the website by early this week. And then on Friday, we'll talk about where we're going to go from here, including the details for our legislative conference. We'll conclude on Saturday morning, June 13th. It should be an exciting conference. We'll have a Women's Day. We'll have a Women's Evening on Friday night. We'll have select dinners on Thursday night. There's a lot going on. Go to www.rainbowpush.org. We'll give you more information. The website will continue to be built out every day, www.rainbowpush.org. Please register for the Push Conference. I want to thank you for your attention today, and keep hope alive.
We celebrate our president and CEO giving us our marching orders. Where there is no vision, people perish. And we are not going to perish because we have a sufficient leader to plan out and map the way for us. Next, coming to the mic, we'll hear from on high, from on Congress high, where we can get our insight, get our instructions, get the nitty-gritty and the behind the scenes of that one that was raised in this place, birthed in this place, and leads this place from the congressional seat. Can we make some noise for Congressman Jonathan Jackson?
Thank you so much. I'd like to say a very special thank you to our esteemed judges that have come out today that are civic-minded. Give our judges a wonderful round of applause. Judges represent us, and it's always good to see the judges that come off of the bench and walk through the community and share with us. They are a part of the very fabric of the community, and I am honored to be in their presence. One thing I've learned recently, and member of the United States House of Representatives, judges have power. But they say the difference between a federal judge and God is that God knows he's God, but a federal judge thinks he's God, you know? This past, in my tenure in the 118th and now in the 119th Congress, when my dear friend and colleague, a friend of ours, Congressman Cleo Fields, who got into the United States Congress first in 1993, he became the second African American to have a district in the state of Louisiana after Reconstruction, after the long history of slavery. A young man, mother, family of 9 children, father died at a very young age, went on to become a Southern University graduate of their law school, and then on to become the state senator, and then become a United States congressman in 1993. It was about 2 terms in before then Ku Klux Klan's member David Dukes challenged him. That case went all the way up to the United States Supreme Court, and they redrew his district so that an African American would not win. And he went back to private practice, turned back to the legislature some years later, then went back into the legislature and got the approval through this district, through his legislation, through the governor, the state legislature, all Republicans, and they carved out the 2nd congressional district in the state of Louisiana. I've had the privilege of working with Congressman Cleo Fields. It was not, he came back 17 years later. It was not 60 days later, after he returned to the Congress, that this case was filed in about February or March of 2025. The Supreme Court heard the case, and they stated they made no decision through the spring. Then by October 15th of 2025, the Supreme Court did something unusual. They reheard the case. So this case has been slowly grinding its way through. And just this past Wednesday, they've issued another ruling. And the ruling is simple. You have to prove intent, not outcomes. The defense that we've had in Section 2 and Section 5, if you will, our shield and our sword for the civil rights protection, is simply saying you can show the outcomes, that you can prove discrimination. Now the court has swung the other way and says that you have to show intent of discrimination. I'm reminded in the autobiography of Frederick Douglass when he would describe a master saying, "No, I did not hit a person that was enslaved in the face. That person simply ran into my fist." Now they're going to tell us that we're running into fists They have flipped the script on us again. Once again, we find ourselves at this crossroads. There have been 114 people in American history to sit and serve on the United States Supreme Court, 17 chief justices. There have been 47 presidents. I want you to know justices matter. What they have not been able to do with the legislative body, they have gone through the judicial body and have gutted our rights. Once again, we find ourselves with the victories of the civil rights movement in peril. And once again, we must summon, like my brother Yusef Jackson has said, and I'm appreciative of his leadership, the courage exhibited by former generations to not just be worried about our future, but to do something about it. And I am so glad for the spirit of my father, Reverend Jesse Jackson, because we are not afraid and we are not going to turn around. He's left us in a place where we're prepared to stand up and push back and fight back. What happened at the Supreme Court was not a surprise, but let the record show that it was devastating nevertheless. As I sat in my office on Capitol Hill, I was reminded of how Reconstruction ended. When we were in Washington on October 15th of 2025, I went downstairs in the Democratic caucus. I told my colleagues, as we returned in the middle of the government shutdown, and they were trying to go around the country to talk about how we could get additional Democratic seats and gerrymander and get some other seats back, I said, I don't like all this mid-decade gerrymandering. It's not going to be good for Democrats or for the Republicans. But like Queen Latifah says, sometimes two wrongs don't make it right, but you got to make it even. So when they came to the state of Illinois and they asked me about, could I give up some points so that we could have another Democratic seat? I said, I'm all for a Democratic seat, but I want to have the power and the voice of my community. So as opposed to worrying about the seats I have, the votes I have right here, let's go to the Louisiana versus Calais case and sit in the United States Supreme Court. They said, no, we're just here for Medicare. I said, well, respectfully, I can't give up 1 point in my district because the first district wants me to stand on this issue. Let the main thing, justice, be the main thing. Don't worry about my 1 seat. Let's talk about the 20 seats you're going to lose if you don't go and stand up in that Supreme Court. Some of you remember the history, as my brother shared, when the North finally abandoned their considerations pertaining to the equitable restitution of black people in the South. The period was known as Reconstruction. It ended with a whimper, with a little whisper, and not with the shout. It means that rather dying in one awe-inspiring blow, the restitution of black people in this country died of 1 million cuts, but died nevertheless. I'm born, Justice, in 1966. I'm 60 years of age. I am the first generation of African Americans born with equal rights. Again, I was born in 1966 after the 1965 Voting Rights Act. I am the first generation of African Americans born with equal rights. And this is what we are witnessing today. It's not the bombastic speeches or outright racist rhetoric that's been successful at undermining what it took us 400 years to achieve, but rather it's the quiet Supreme Court decisions that threaten everything our ancestors died to make manifest in a nation that hated us because of the color of our skin. And for those of you who were seduced into believing that politics doesn't matter, and that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton were the same, and that there is no material difference between a Democrat and a Republican, you are about to witness how much you were bamboozled and led astray. There are no narrow Supreme Court decisions. This, which seems like a little pebble in the pond, is going to end up being a tidal wave of changes across the nation. Don't tell me there's no difference between a Democrat and a Republican. I just left Georgia yesterday to bury our friend, the first African-American head of the Department of the Agriculture Committee, Congressman David Scott, who grew up cropping tobacco in Georgia, moved on over in South Carolina, moved on over to Georgia, went to Wharton School of Finance, came back and became the chair of the department of the head of the Agriculture Committee, and to only see one Caucasian member of any legislature in that rotunda in Georgia where he served, not only in the Congress but in the House. You can't tell me it's not racialized. So it was very magnanimous for the governor of the state of Georgia to open the rotunda. But the governor would not attend. The lieutenant governor was not present. The Speaker of the House was not present. Only one party wants to erase your presence in the United States Congress so that black community will live under taxation without adequate representation. Only one party wants to make it harder for you to vote. And then when you redistrict, they want to redistrict you in such a way that your vote is nullified by the number of racists living in your gerrymandered congressional district. Only one party wants to erase our history and tell us that we cannot have a right to have our relics in the African American History Museum. Only one party is trying to send our children off to war and could care less that it costs you $5 for a gas of gasoline. That is not the Democratic Party that I'm representing. I'm so glad our justices are here, and I'm so glad that they are impartial. So don't you all wait for the justices to shout. They got to sit there and take it all in. And what happened at the United States Supreme Court is a result of the 2016 election. And somebody keeps saying that. If the current president had not been elected the first time, we would not be in this mess. And if he were not elected the second time, they would not be having the discussion on so many levels. But here we are, brothers and sisters. And I can't say enough about the justices that come out, because this past week when I went and saw King Charles in the United States House of Representatives, and he talked about the Magna Carta and he talked about the structure of government. He says there's supposed to be a checks and a balance. King Charles, who graced my father, Reverend Jesse Jackson, with an audience when he came to the United States the last time. He called and asked Reverend Jackson if he would walk with him to the King Monument and share with him the history, to give him a first encounter of what it was like to work with Reverend Martin Luther King and what was happening with Reverend Jesse Jackson. Please give King Charles a loving round of applause. King Charles talked about his sixth generation great-great-grandfather, King George III. His sixth generation great-great-grandfather, King George III. Before there was a George Washington, there was a King George. You do know Georgetown's name comes from King George. Okay, figure it out. Somebody needs to remind this country that there wouldn't be a need for the Voting Rights Act if this nation had honored the 15th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. But rather than honor its own laws, this country spent 150 years doing everything in its power to stop black people from enjoying the pleasures of democracy and privileges of citizenship. But I have news for you, America. He that is within us is greater than is in the world. Brothers and sisters, representation matters. And this week, when the Supreme Court made it harder for us to be represented by people who look like us, they were trying to break our spirit. They were trying to break our will. They were trying to insult our ancestors. They were trying to erase our political power. But they must not know who we are. We will not die. We will multiply. Our President CNO has given us directives as a member of the United States House of Representatives Now I have a charge. We just don't have to march on the outside. I'm going to secure a room for us to have a meeting on the inside. This is not the first time we've had to push back, and this is not the first time we've had to organize for our own survival. Because this is what we have to do now. We have to organize. We have to vote. We have to register people in massive numbers. We're going to have to overwhelm the polls. We're going to have to show up at town halls. We're going to have to march until something happens. We're going to have to take this message back to our churches. We're going to have to disturb the comfortable and comfort those that are disturbed. I said we're going to march until something happens. Reconstruction ended because the federal government didn't care much about us, and our ancestors were too fresh out of slavery to have amassed enough power to do anything about their own fate. But there's a difference between then and now. The difference is that we are stronger. We are more connected. We have more resources. We are rested and we are not afraid. We want to thank God for what our ancestors have done, and we will not betray them. God has given us the ability to do what they could not do for themselves. We're not going back in time. So when we march, we're going to march for all the people who had to put up with it. We want to see our Asian brothers and sisters stand up for this Voting Rights Act. We want to see our Latino and Hispanic brothers stand up for this act. We want to see our progressive brothers speak up and stand up for the Voting Rights Act. Oh, this isn't just for black folks. This is for the whole of democracy. And when we protest, we're going to protest for all folks. This ain't a black issue. And when we vote, we're going to vote for our ancestors who were denied the right to vote. We're going to not only vote for ourselves, we're going to fight for us and fight for our history. We're not going to let nobody turn us around. We ain't going to let nobody turn us around.
Come on, put your hands together like this. Yeah, yeah. Your love lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up, quenching my desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore. You know your love keeps lifting me up, keeps on lifting me higher and higher. You know your love keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me higher and higher. Now once I was broken-hearted, disappointment was my closest friend. That's when you came and it soon departed, and you know it never showed its face again. You know your love keeps on lifting higher, higher and higher. You know your love keeps on lifting me higher. All right, I want everybody in this room to do this. You ready? When's the last time you went somewhere and you just heard everybody clapping? Come on and clap your hands. Keep on pushing. Come on and clap your hands. Keep on pushing. Come on. Come on and clap your hands. Keep on pushing. Hey, come on and clap your hands. Third verse. Here we go. I'm so glad I finally found you. Yes, that one. Higher, higher and higher. keep on pushing, keep on pushing, keep on pushing. One more time, come on. Keep on pushing, keep on. I said keep on pushing. I said keep on pushing, cause the push is on. Hey, you know your love deeply. Keep on lifting, keep on pushing, brother. Higher, higher, hey, keep on pushing, keep on pushing, keep on pushing, higher and higher, yeah.
All right, can you hear me? Testing. Good morning, Rainbow Push family. How you doing? You can do better than that. Good morning. How are you? It is such a pleasure to be home with you all. My name is Antonio Lee, and I am the president of the Cook County Bar Association, our nation's oldest association of black lawyers and judges, founded in 1914. I want to first start by acknowledging the members of our judiciary, the Illinois Judicial Council. Would you please stand and be acknowledged at this time? Thank you for your service. And specifically, I want to acknowledge the Chief Justice of the Illinois Supreme Court that is here with us. Please stand, Mr. Chief Justice P. Scott Neville, Jr. Stand on your feet if you can. And I want to establish some protocol. Will all the past presidents of the Cook County Bar Association please stand and be acknowledged at this time? I stand on your shoulders. Thank you for your service. We are gathered here today for Law Day, and will all members of the Cook County Bar Association and lawyers please stand and be acknowledged at this time? We have a room full of black lawyers, black members of the judiciary. Thank you for your service. Ladies and gentlemen, this week the Supreme Court of the United States handed down a devastating decision in Louisiana versus Calais, which severely weakened Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. You see, the Voting Rights Act was signed in 1965, and that was supposed to enforce the 15th Amendment. And Section 2 of that Voting Rights Act was the enforcement mechanism, which prohibited states prohibiting states from electoral practices such as voting district maps that resulted in a denial of any citizen's rights to vote on account of race. It was ruled as the crown jewel of the civil rights movement. And with that recent decision that gutted the Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, it had potential effects that severely limited our power. It allows for racial discrimination through gerrymandering if states only claim partisan intent. Majority black districts could be eliminated nationwide. It is now nearly impossible to prove racial discrimination or racism when lawsuits like this are filed. But I stand proudly before you today, even in the midst of the anger and the frustration. I still stand proudly before you today because there is hope. You see, according to Romans chapter 5, verses 3 through 4, it states, "But we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that sufferings produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope." And in that same regard, our beloved Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. stated to us that it gets dark sometimes, but morning comes. Keep hope alive. Don't you surrender. Suffering breeds character, character breeds faith. And in the end, faith will not disappoint. Let us be reminded that our ancestors and Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr. fought for this moment for us and prepared us for this, and that's why I have hope. And I know that you will join me in saying that we stand prepared. We stand ready. We will not surrender any of the rights or any injustice that we fought for. We will not stop. We will unite. And we will persevere and advocate for our civil rights. That hope lies with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Our vote is the one that is most powerful, that we have to garner up and overcome this obstacle. We must make sure that we are all registered to vote. We must make sure that our neighbors are registered to vote. We must make sure that we educate our communities on the importance of voting. And make no mistake about it that the Cook County Bar Association stands ready with the Rainbow Push Coalition in this fight, as we have done historically. Before I conclude my remarks, I'm a person that doesn't like to just get up and talk about titles and say that we're the oldest black bar association. No, there's substance behind that. And as I stand here before you as president, I can tell you about the work that we've been doing. We have been making sure that we invest in the next generation of lawyers, which is very, very important. We started out with a law school tour, going to each and every law school, including the BOSA chapters, to talk about scholarships, to helping them build pathways for their careers, getting them mentorship and guidance to make sure they can elevate their careers going forward. But we didn't just stop there. I made sure that we did a pre-law legal seminar where we go into those community colleges talking about pathways to get into law school. There's barriers each and every way, and we are there to make sure that we mend those barriers and help our people ascend through that road. And most recently, yesterday, we held our Law Day program, where we connected with over 8 schools, high school students, grade school students, and talked about the Fourth Amendment challenges. Talked about what you do when you encounter police, how to effectuate your rights. We are doing that work. This is not a time to sit back. We are on the front lines. From a programmatic standpoint, we held a program on the CLE on effectuating black women equal pay. Talking about it from a national level and a local level, that black women want to achieve equal pay into the year 2227. We also just recently held a program on access to fair housing as we experience this affordability crisis. And soon, this month, we will be hosting our inaugural Trial Master program in the honor of past President Larry Rogers, Sr. of the Cook County Bar Association, teaching those trial advocacy skills for our students. Also, our lawyers and our practitioners, making sure they have the skill set to represent our community. More importantly, ladies and gentlemen, we are doing the work to make sure that we have qualified judges on the bench. We are investigating those judges. We are interviewing those judges. We are making sure that they have the criteria. And if they don't, we will use our vote and our rating to make sure that our community know that they are not qualified and they should not be held for retention. We are doing the work and fighting this battle from multiple aspects. As I close, I want to tell you all thank you so much for your time. For more information about the Cook County Bar Association, you can access us on Facebook as well as LinkedIn and our website at cookcountybar.org. It's a pleasure to be with my Rainbow Push family, and I look forward to serving with you soon. Thank you.
We thank Antonio for his work, for his labor. Can we celebrate him? And one more time, can we celebrate black excellence in black robes? Too many times we ascribe black excellence to stuff that ain't excellent. But before us here is excellence, and we thank you for your work and for your labor. To that end, Honorable Tiana Blakely, our circuit judge of the Cook County, is now going to come and share with us. Can we celebrate and make her feel welcome here at the Rainbow Push?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am Judge Tiana Blakely. I am the current president of the Illinois Judicial Council. The Illinois Judicial Council is a council of predominantly African American judges throughout the state of Illinois. We have judges on every level of the court. We have judges on the Supreme Court, the federal court, the appellate court, as well as the circuit court. I know that Antonio did acknowledge the judges, but I must do the same. So, of course, we have our Chief Justice of the Illinois Supreme Court, Justice P. Scott Neville. He is the second African American to be the Chief Justice of our Illinois Supreme Court in over 200-year history of the Illinois courts. So everyone, please stand and give him a round of applause. Thank you. And I know that the judges were acknowledged, but it's important that we know the names. We need to know the names of the judges from our community that sit on the bench. So if you would like, allow me a moment to introduce our judges here. We have Justice Sharon Johnson from the Illinois Appellate Court. Presiding Judge Andrea Buford of the Child Protection Division. Judge Tira Walton, President-elect of our Illinois Judicial Council, as well as from the Felony Trial Division at 26th Street. We have Judge Anthony Thetford from the Pretrial Division. Judge Krista Butler from the 1st Municipal Division. Judge Darren Bowden from the Juvenile Justice Division. Judge Benita Coleman from the Domestic Relations Division. Judge Arlene Coleman from the 1st Municipal Division. Judge Teresa Conyers-Smith, Smith-Conyers, from the 1st Municipal Division. Judge James Wright from the 1st Municipal Division. Judge Lavander Smith from the Child Protection Division. Judge Taisha Smith from the Juvenile Justice Division. And Judge Renetta Bush, retired. I get us all? All right. All right. On behalf of the Illinois Judicial Council, it is both an honor and responsibility to stand before you today as we recognize Law Day, a day set aside to reflect on the rule of law, its meaning, its power, and its promise. The rule of law is the foundation of our democracy. It is the principle that no person is above the law and that every individual is entitled to equal protection and fair treatment under it. It is what separates justice from power, fairness from favoritism, and order from chaos. But as we gather here today, we must also acknowledge a truth that cannot be ignored. For African Americans, the promise of the rule of law has not always been fulfilled. That promise was not always fulfilled for the residents of Inglewood, for the residents of North Lawndale, for the residents of the Cabrini Green, the Robert Taylors, the Ickeys. There was a time in this nation when laws were used not to protect, but to exclude. When courts were not places of refuge, but symbols of inequality. From slavery to black codes to Jim Crow laws, African Americans have experienced a legal system that too often denied justice rather than delivered it. Yet, even in these moments, there were voices, brave, determined, unwavering voices that demanded more from the law. Voices that insisted that the Constitution live up to its ideals. We think of those who challenged injustice in the courts, who marched in the streets, and who refused to accept that separate could never be equal. We think of leaders like Reverend Jesse Jackson Sr., whose life's work reminds us that the struggle for justice is not confined to one generation. Reverend Jackson taught us to keep hope alive. But more importantly, he showed us that hope must be accompanied by action, by advocacy, by courage, and by a steadfast belief in the power of change. Today, many of us stand in positions that previous generations could only imagine. I'm sure you couldn't tell our Chief Justice, a young man from 43rd Street who attended DuSable High School, that he would be the Chief Justice of the Illinois Supreme Court one day. You couldn't tell me, the younger me, a little girl born in Inglewood, raised in Roseland, that I would stand before you today as a judge of the Circuit Court of Cook County. And I still live in Roseland. Presiding over some of the most serious felony matters in the courts. As judges, many of us African American, we serve within a system that once excluded us. That reality is not lost on us. It is, in fact, what drives us. Because representation on the bench matters. It matters not simply for symbolism, but because it strengthens the public's trust. It ensures that the judiciary reflects the communities it serves. And it reminds every person who enters a courtroom that justice belongs to them too. But Law Day is not just about reflection. It is about responsibility. The rule of law is only as strong as the people who uphold it. It requires judges who are fair, lawyers who are ethical, and citizens who are engaged. It requires all of us to protect it, to question it when necessary, and to work continually to make it more just. As the Illinois Judicial Council, we embrace that responsibility. Through mentorship, through outreach, and through our commitment to bridging the gap between the judiciary and the community, we strive to ensure that the next generation understands not only the law, but their place within it. Because the future of justice depends on them. It depends on young people who will one day stand where we stand, who will advocate, who will lead, and who will continue the work that is far from finished. And so today, as we recognize Law Day, let us recommit ourselves to the ideals that brought us here. Let us honor the struggles of those who came before us. Not just with words, we have to do it with action. Let us ensure that the rule of law is not just a principle we speak about, but a promise that we keep. And let us remember, as we carry this work forward, a simple but powerful truth. To whom much is given, much is required. Keep hope alive.
Can we celebrate Judge Blakely? Now, we can't have the Chief Justice here and him not at least say hello. Chief Justice, if you just come and say hello, we got to honor your leadership, sir.
Good morning, Operation Push. There's no other place I'd rather be on Law Day than at Operation Push. I appreciate our president, and I want you to give her another big round of applause. But you know, Mr. Jackson, she said I was a young man. I may have to put the judge under oath. But in all seriousness, Law Day is a very serious day. I want all the people in this room to know and understand that as the Chief Justice of the Illinois Supreme Court, I am going to keep the scales balanced so that everybody, we truly have equal justice under law. And I certainly appreciate all the judges here. I have 990 judges in the state of Illinois, and I bring you greetings from all of them. And I certainly appreciate these judges who are here with me today. But Mr. Jackson and Operation Push, I just want you to know that we're counting on you to help the Supreme Court keep the scales balanced. Thank you.
Thank you. As we prepare to conclude this Saturday morning experience, we can't do so without you deciding that you're going to partner with us. A lot is happening, and a lot is on the horizon. You've heard about the great work that lies ahead of us, and we need you pushing forward with us. And you can do that in a multiplicity of ways, but the specific way I need you to help us right now is with the bag. That's what the young people call the money. It's offering time here at Rainbow Push. We can celebrate that. We're asking you to partner with the great work that we're seeking to do. Thank you, our president, CEO, kicking it off with $100. The others of you who are going to start off with $100, elevate your hand, please. Those of you in the digital space that are going to give, information is on your screen, QR code. Go to the website, rainbowpush.org. You can give our $100 givers, our $50 givers, our $1,000 givers. I see some of y'all in the space. I'm a preacher. I can sense it. I can feel it when the big money is in the room. We want to make sure you give. We've got people in the audience with their hands elevated. They have offering envelopes for you. If you need to swipe or tap, elevate your hand. Somebody will come by to assist you in that manner. If you're giving digitally, that information is on the offering envelope as well. And again, you can always pull out your phone and go to rainbowpush.org. Thank you for the $100 givers, the $50 givers, the $5 givers, whatever you have. We don't want anyone to feel that your gift is less important. It all matters as we partner to do this work. It costs to do justice work and to do it freely. Y'all missed that. If we're going to be free and say what needs to be said and not be on a leash, it takes us financing us for us to be able to do that. And so again, we appreciate you and we thank you for your partnership today and in the days to come. And again, those of you in the digital space online listening in, thank you in advance for your partnership and how you're going to give today to help us at Rainbow Push carry forth this mission and the work that we've been called to do. We're getting out of here, but we've got our representative from the West Side Justice Center. Work is being done on the great side that's called the West Side. Ms. Karim, if you come in and tell us about the org, tell us what you're doing and how the people can get plugged in.
Absolutely. Thank you. And what would Law Day be without a lesson? So how many of you know that you sign a social contract to live in America? Can I see a show of hands? Okay. Now, you don't explicitly do this, of course, but by continuing to stay in America, you implicitly sign a social contract. And that's why when a crime is committed, it states the state of Illinois versus Joe Smith, because you've violated all of us. Now, when you serve your debt to society for this violation, we should be even Steven, correct? But that isn't the case. What happens is this criminal record follows you into perpetuity. That singular act you're punished for by not getting a job, by not being able to get housing. Now, are you guys ever rewarded into perpetuity for a singular good that you do? Now, does it make sense that you're punished into perpetuity for a moment of relapse? Well, that's why expungements and sealings are necessary. And at the West Side Justice Center, that's exactly what we do to help the community get better jobs. And I'm going to bring it down to the local level and how this administration is impacting not only you, but your neighbors, your community, and your neighborhood. What happens is when this administration cuts funding to states, then that needs to trickle downwards, and the states need to tighten their belt and decide what's important and what's not. Now, you'd be surprised to hear that a lot of the things that we care about are left on the cutting room floor. That's why making sure to call your local representative and state senators and let them know we care about evictions. We care about access to justice is the name of the program, and making your voices heard and fighting back against this administration. On behalf of the Westside Justice Center, we'd like to thank the Rainbow Push Coalition and Mr. Jackson. More specifically, Reverend Wilson and her unwavering commitment to partner with us. Yes, give it up to her. Lastly, I'd like to say that at the Westside Justice Center and organizations, nonprofits, legal aids throughout the community are doing the work on the ground floor. We're standing next to those that have been overlooked, families that are facing eviction, immigrants that have been here for 30 years that only know this place is their home, that are facing deportation. And lastly, those that are facing criminal records relief. We're going to continue this fight. We thank the Rainbow Push Coalition for its partnership. And like the judge says, keep hope alive.
Rainbow Push, let me just, thank you for your attention this Saturday morning. Have we had some good speaking this morning? Some good information? Listen, everybody out here is a VIP, but I want to acknowledge a special guest who's come, not really a guest, he's our brother, he's our friend, they're a great couple. Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Hightower have come in town. Stand up, Mr. Hightower. He's on our board. He's a good friend of the Jackson family. Mr. Hightower of Hightower Petroleum has been a good friend of the Jackson family, the Rainbow Push Coalition. It's fair to say we've been all over the world together, haven't we? We thank you for your commitment, for your love, for your family's unyielding support of our organization. So thank you for coming in town. Look forward to spending some time with you after the program. I can't thank you enough for our Judicial Council members and the judges. Thank you for your steadfast work. I know that you are not thanked enough for the work that you do. The work you do is hard. You do the best you can with a level of integrity. We're grateful for the work that you do. I want to make sure that we're all prepared to take our post-program picture. Ready for that? Did I miss anything? It is time for our benediction.
Come on, everybody, stand, connect hands, connect hearts. Judges will ask you at the end of benediction if you'll come up so that we can take our photo together. Let's pray. God, we love you and we thank you for another day that you've graced us with. Guide us, protect us, give us discernment and wisdom as we move forward in the upcoming week. Allow us to be the light in a dark world. Guide us in the decisions that we make, that they might bless people and leave a mark on the world and not a scar. Take us now from this place, but never from your presence. Amen. Have a great week. Register for the conference. Register for the conference. Register for the conference. Do it today.
Come on, Michelle. That little, I thought that a leader of mine, a little was overrated, but a lot was a little too complicated. Zero didn't satisfy me, a million didn't make me happy, but that's when I learned the lesson, that it's all about your perception. Hey, are you a popper or a superstar? So you act, so you feel, so you are. It ain't about the size of your car, it's about the size of the faith in your heart. There's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. Hey, there's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. Second verse. Back in the country of Brazil, I met a young brother that made me feel I could could accomplish anything. You see, just like me, he wanted to sing. He had no windows and no doors. He lived a simple life and was extremely poor. On top of all of that, he had no eyesight, but that didn't keep him from seeing the light. He said, what's it like in the USA? And all I did was complain, but living here is paradise. He told me paradise is in your mind. You know that there's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. Hey, there's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. Ready for the bridge? Here we go. Every time I turn on the TV, somebody's acting crazy. If you let it, it'll drive you crazy. But I'm taking back my power today. Gas prices, they just keep on rising. The government, they keep on lying. But we gotta keep on surviving. Keep living and living the best we can do. But there's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. Hey, 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 there's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. Here's the best part, ready? So keep hope alive. 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 Hey, keep hope alive. 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 Hey, keep hope alive. 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 There's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. There's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. Listen, stand up for your rights. Stand up for stand up for your rights. Keep shining your light. Show the world your style. Stand up for your rights. Keep shining your light. Show the world your smile. Say it again, stand up for your rights. Keep shining your light. Show the world your smile. One more time, say stand up for your rights. Keep shining your light. Show the world your smile. 'Cause there's hope. Say it doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. Hey, hey, that's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank God for that. One more time. There's hope. It doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh. You better thank